Journalist Bob Woodward has become the author of record about the modern American presidency. Now Woodward's releasing an audiobook, allowing us to listen in on former President Donald Trump in his own words. Woodward tells our John Dickerson all about it.
For 9 months back in 2020, when the phone rang at Bob Woodward's home on this leafy Georgetown street, there was a good chance it was a call he didn't want to miss.
Mr. Woodward, the president.
Hi, Bob.
President Trump, how are you?
Sometimes Woodward's wife, journalist Elsa Walsh, answered the calls, which came day or night.
So we joke, and I sort of say there's, like Princess Diana, that there were 3 people in this marriage, Bob, me, and Donald Trump. And it was sort of never ending.
The phone would ring. Is it a robocall or is it Trump?
Go ahead, Mr. President, you are connected. Hi, Bob.
Sir, how are you?
Woodward scattered tape recorders around the house to be ready for the surprise calls.
I'm turning my recorder on here as I always do.
And Donald Trump would talk.
I respect Putin. I think Putin likes me. I think I like him.
And talk.
I said to the king, you got to pay us for protection.
On the pandemic, North Korea, Russia, race relations, just about anything.
I bring rage out. I do bring rage out. I always have. I don't know if that's an asset or a liability, but whatever it is, I do.
There were 16 phone calls, 20 interviews all told, 8 hours of conversations, which Woodward has compiled into an audiobook, The Trump Tapes, out this week, published by Simon & Schuster, part of our parent company, Paramount Global.
In many ways, it's the missing piece of the Trump story. We've heard a lot of Trump. He's said a lot. But what did he do in the presidency? And having the time, I could go back and ask questions again and again.
Woodward has written about the calls, but hearing Trump in his own voice, he believes, is enlightening.
I reported on this in the book I did, Rage, but I then went back and listened to these tapes and said, my God, there is a whole new Trump that emerges.
We got along great. We've always gotten along great.
His tone of voice offers insight into why Trump may have kept totems from his presidency at Mar-a-Lago, like the letters from North Korea's Kim Jong-un. It's clearly a relationship he cherishes.
You meet somebody and you have a good chemistry, and there is a lot of truth to it. You meet a woman, in 1 second, you know whether or not it's all going to happen. Okay? We had a very good chemistry together.
The topics veer from the humorous.
I said, did you ever hear of the song Rocket Man? He said, no. Did you ever hear of Elton John? No. I said, I did you a great favor. I called you Rocket Man. He goes, you called me Little Rocket Man.
To the deadly serious.
Have you given Kim too much power?
No.
Because if he's defiant, if he shoots one of those ICBMs, what are you going to do?
That doesn't, let me tell you, whether I gave it to him or not, if he shoots, he shoots, and if he shoots, he shoots.
He says about the North Korea leader, if he shoots, he shoots. How did you react to that?
I really froze because Trump said it in a way of if he shoots, kind of cavalier, and of course it would be unthinkable.
One theme runs throughout all 8 hours of tape. Trump thought the presidency was a one-man show.
I get people, they come up with ideas, but the ideas are mine, Bob. Ideas are mine.
And
want to know something? Everything's mine.
But a presidency based on personality was overmatched by COVID-19.
One of the most stunning moments I've had 50 years in reporting.
Woodward learned that on January 28, 2020, just days after the first COVID-19 case was confirmed in the United States, Trump's national security advisor, Robert O'Brien, had given him a grave warning.
I think the exact phrase I used was, this will be the biggest national security threat you face in your presidency. I was pretty passionate about it.
Yet at a rally 2 weeks later, Trump said this.
Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
When Woodward learned about that disconnect between what the president knew and what he said, he asked Trump why he didn't sound the alarm.
I wanted to always play it down because I don't want to create a panic.
Was there a moment in all of this last 2 months where you said to yourself, this is the leadership test of a lifetime?
No.
When you hear this voice and the way he assesses situations in himself, he's drowning in himself. And at one point, I'm interviewing him, and I just offered the commentary. I feel like I'm talking to a drowning man when he's talking about the virus, and he says, "We've got it under control."
Taken as a whole, the recordings paint a revealing self-portrait.
Is it that he thinks of the presidency as a possession?
Yes, I think he does. I think it's a trophy, and he has got it, and he is going to hold it.
Which leads to one of Woodward's biggest regrets, the question he didn't ask.
There was one point where I asked him, I said, I hear that if you lose, you're not going to leave the White House. Everyone says Trump is going to stay in the White House if it's contested. Have you?
Well, I don't want to even comment on that.
Sure.
I don't want to comment on that at this time. Hey, Bob, I got all
I
these people.
understand.
I'll talk to you later on tonight.
It's the only time he had no comment. And this, of course, was months before his loss, and kind of slapped myself a little bit. Why didn't I follow up on that a little bit more?
At the end of the book Rage, you said that Donald Trump was singularly unfit to be president. And now, listening to these tapes, you draw a more grave conclusion. What is that conclusion?
Trump was the wrong man for the job. I realize now, 2 years later, all of the January 6th insurrection leads me to the conclusion that he's not just the wrong man for the job, but he's dangerous. And he is a threat to democracy, and he's a threat to the presidency because he doesn't understand the core obligations that come with that office.